Hey, hi everyone. This is Mark Nicholas with the Day Trading Zones, and I wanted to do a quick video on how to trade support and resistance when and how to also use support and resistance levels and why it's one of my favorite for the past 17 years that I have been trading. Uh, the cool thing with the support and resistance when you have a good algorithm that can give you good levels is that number one, it's elegant. It's easy to see. See, you see, you have a straight horizontal line. You know where support is. You know where resistance is. So the key is to interpret how to place some support and resistance even on your own, just placing horizontal lines if you don't have an algorithm that is solid, or support and resistance indicator. So here I'm going to give you an example. When the market, that's an mini S&P by the way, chart from January 13, 2012, so it's from Friday, and it'll show you in a very elegant fashion how around from 1 o'clock in the morning on the 13th to 10 o'clock on the same day on the 13th, they were moved here from 94 on the ES to about 72, which is a 22-point move, so which is over $1,000 move, so which is lovely, right? The key is how can you use support and resistance to your advantage. Net buyer and net sellers, what people also refer as supply and demand. See here, like where I trace with my pen, there was a series of highs, rejected, so there was one high here, then another high here, see, and that forms an horizontal line. And see, if you prolong that horizontal line, what happened is that series of highs here become a cluster of high, and that's a cluster where there is a series of net sellers. Each time you reach that level, boom, there is a group of sellers which is stronger than the net buyers. That's why the total equation of that level right there, if I put an horizontal line and my cursor right there, is the total net seller situation. And you see, each time he came towards the 94.75, he kept selling. And then what if I, so here, if you had no indicator or no support and resistance indicator, you could just put a simple trend line to help you, and that becomes a support and resistance, right? So it becomes a resistance of interest from 1 o'clock in the morning to here 3:30 in the morning. And then if you notice, the net sellers continue and we start making a series of lower high, lower high. We on our support and resistance indicator had it just below here around, see, if you look at the indicator right there at 91.5, and you could see here that 91.5 was a series of support. So right there you could see from the previous night at 9 o'clock right there, see, at 9-10 o'clock that night, those are a series of support where they were net buyers coming back here and bringing it here to the resistance. And then finally the support here, if I prolong around the tools, became resistance. See, this is one of our setup that I love when you use support and resistance, where you have a channel of high and lows and it breaks down. And when it breaks down, so you see you have shift momentum, everything was going up, and now it recrossed down. That's a shift of momentum. The analogy you can use is if you throw a ball in the air, the ball goes up, look at the left side of the screen. The ball goes up, but it comes to a point where that ball is going to reach in the air by the force of physics a neutral point. And that neutral point, what is essentially telling you is that the ball is coming back the other way and we are going down. This is the same in the support and resistance. You go up towards resistance. The resistance, you have a series of net sellers. This is your neutral point, it goes back down. And on our indicator here, you have a recross of the dashes, which the dash zones are our major support and resistance. And you have that shift of momentum in the support and resistance here. See, up, shift of momentum. One of the best things you can do when you use your own support or resistance, or you use pivot points, or you use Fibonacci's, or you use a lot of people use market profile now, and you have your own support and resistance that you can trust, where you know pretty much that a lot of institutions and professionals are going to come. Then the best is to resell when they retest. See, this is what I call the retest, where I circled here. Okay, so you had the initial cross, recross, and then you have the retest of our indicator major support and resistance. Dash is red there, and on the retest, which forms already a lower high, it goes from dash to dash. See, so support and resistance are extremely important. Another trick I can show you, if you use your own support and resistance, and you have your own support and resistance level or own support and resistance indicator, is this. If you use you have a support, you have a resistance. Another trick that has worked very well, that I was taught by old timers back in 94, 95, is that let's say you have 1200 here on the ES, for example, and 11, let's take a third number, so let's say 1188. So from 1188 to 1200 you have 12 points. If you divide the entire support to the resistance, so here's the support at 88, the resistance at 1200, you have a 12-point range here. Typically, depending on where the directions, and that's where you need also not only support and resistance, but you need a directional tools to help you to assess where the trend, are we going up, are we going down, where are the most likely high probability retracement, which we use in the indicators. But you can take the 12 points and divide it by third. So you can take 1200, so a third of 12 points is 444 points. So you can go from 1200 to 1196, okay, from 1196 to 1192, and guess what? Now you can create what I call subzones. So maybe we can go and put them like this. See, you have a subzone at 1196, you have a subzone at 1192, and what does it do for you is, if you come from, let's say, a recross from the bottom, so it was going down and it comes and it recross back up, the ideal situation for having the highest probability of success on your trade is always enter the first third of the range. If you chase here in the middle, where I put a square, you're too late. Okay, so if you enter somewhere in the middle of the first third or the top of the first third, then you want to exit towards the bottom here, where I have the circle at the top, the bottom of the third, last third, or the top of the last third. Or what you can do is you have a runner, so you have one that you keep towards the top of the second third, the 96, and you have your runner all the way to the 1200. I hope this has helped you a little bit to better understand support and resistance, and net buyers, net sellers. We will do more of support and resistance training, basic training that people can better understand, and understand support and resistance indicator and levels, and how to play them for the highest probability and statistical chances of success. You can get more information if you want on our blog, which is daytradingzones.com/blog. Okay, you take care, everyone. You have a great day.